Hey guys, welcome to this first video on Simple Home Cooking channel on YouTube. And what we're going to show you today is a really simple and basic lentil soup recipe that anyone can make in their own home kitchen, and it's something that I guarantee you all the family's going to enjoy. Now there's thousands of different varieties of lentil soup out there. This is just a basic lentil soup recipe. You can add and subtract things as you see fit, but really keep to the kind of core ingredients that we've got here today, and you'll have a cracking lentil soup. Now let's just go through a quick list of the ingredients that we're going to need to make the soup. Okay guys, so here's a quick run through of the ingredients that we're going to need. First of all, we're going to need two kind of medium carrots. We're also going to need 2 sticks of celery. And we're going to need 2 medium to large onions. Cherry tomatoes. Now we're not going to use all of these cherry tomatoes, probably only about half of them, so around about say 10 cherry tomatoes are going to go into the soup. We're also going to need a thumb-sized piece of ginger. We're going to need a clove, around about 2 cloves probably of garlic. We're also going to use some diced bacon bits, smoky bacon bits. Now you can obviously just buy smoky bacon and chop it up, maybe freeze the other half for later on. But I like to buy these pre-packed smoky bacon pieces because they're just the right kind of amount that we're going to need for the soup. We're also going to need stock for the soup. You can use vegetable or chicken stock cubes. I prefer to use vegetable stock. Now I use these stock pots, which I think are a great idea. They add a lot of flavour to the soup. That's really what you're going for here, is a lot of flavour. So in this soup we're going to be making about 1.5 to 1.8 litres of stock. Now I'd put in around about 3 to 4 of these depending on how much you want in there. We're also going to want to add in some red split lentils. Have a look there. So if you get yourself around about 300 grams of red split lentils. And just to season things off, we're going to need some sea salt, that's ground sea salt, and some ground black pepper as well. Also get some extra virgin olive oil. That's really going to be the first thing we're going to add to the pan when we know. Okay guys, so next is the prepping and chopping of our vegetables. What I've basically done is I've washed the carrots and washed the celery just to kind of take off any dirt that's there on them. I've also chopped the ends off of the carrots and celery as well, just to get rid of any nasty bits there. What I've also done is strip the onions of their skin. What I'm going to do is basically quarter these onions, and I've also taken the skin off of the garlic as well. Now we could spend all day here chopping up all these vegetables. If you don't have a food processor, it's absolutely fine to just kind of roughly chop these up and put them into the soup as is. I like to use the food processor with a kind of grater setting on it. And what I'm going to do is just basically feed the carrots, the celery, the onions and the garlic into this. Okay, so first off, if we take some of the celery and just pop that in there. I just find that this makes things a lot easier and quicker than spending ages chopping. Next is the carrots. And then what we're going to do is throw in some garlic. Now, let's say 2 pieces of garlic clove. I'm using 3 here because these are quite small. Now for the onions. Okay guys, so the next thing we want to do is get a couple of lugs of olive oil into our pan on a medium heat. That should do. Now what we're going to basically do is throw in our chopped veg. So just whack all that in there. And if we give this a little bit of a stir. A little gap in here. We're also going to throw in the bacon as well. There's our bacon. And basically what we're going to do now is just allow that to kind of soften up the carrots and the onions and cook the bacon for around about 10 minutes. So if we just pop the lid on to skew, and if we give that 10 minutes, we'll come back to it and see how it's going. Okay guys, so whilst we've got the vegetables cooking now for about 10 minutes, just make sure to keep giving them a stir now and again. Make sure you're not getting anything stuck at the bottom of the pan. What we can now move on to is chopping up our ginger. So we just take our ginger, which I've peeled, and we'll pop that into the food processor. We'll pop that into the veg later on. We're also going to chop up some tomatoes, but first of all what I want you to do is get your stock ready, because the stock's the next thing that's going to go in along with the lentils, the tomatoes and the ginger. So if we prepare that now, it gives it enough time for the stock to kind of mix in with the water. So what I want you to do is fully boil your kettle. So you just fill your kettle up to its max. It should be around about 2 litres in there. So or 1.5 to 2 litres depending on how big your kettle is. And that should give us enough stock for the soup. So I'm just going to pop that on just now. Okay, now while that's boiling away, what I'm going to do just now is just chop up these cherry tomatoes. As I said, we're only going to use about 10 cherry tomatoes in the vegetable. Just half them, that should be good enough. Okay guys, so the next thing we're going to do is prepare our stock. So we want to just, hey, steam it. We want to just fill up this with water from our kettle. That should be enough. And we're then just going to pop in our little stock pots or stock cubes. Okay, so if we have a quick look at our veg just now, it's progressing quite nicely. Just give it a bit of a stir. Bacon's cooking okay, and the carrots and onions are becoming nice and soft. That's what we want to see. Okay guys, so our veg has been cooking now for just over 10 minutes, so I think it's about ready just to put in the next ingredients. And what we're going to do is just get our ginger in there first of all. And we're also going to put in our tomatoes. So if we just grab them, we'll pop our cherry tomatoes in there. Also going to pop our stock, just pour it on in there. And we're also going to put in 300 grams of red split lentils, which you should be able to find in any kind of supermarket. Pop them in there. Bit more. And if we then get that kind of big stir, and what we're going to do now is just kind of bring this to the boil. So if we crank up the heat on it, and we want to get it so it's really kind of bubbling. So we just pop our lid back on there, and just keep an eye on it until you think it's kind of boiling. Then we're going to turn the heat down and just let it simmer. Right, so we've brought our soup to the boil. So what we're going to do now is just turn it down and turn the heat right down on it and just let it simmer. And we're going to leave that to simmer now for around about 10-12 minutes, or really until the lentils are kind of cooked through. Right guys, so our soup has been cooking away now, simmering away for about 10-12 minutes, and I have to say it is looking and smelling fantastic. Now what you can do, if you like your soup kind of chunky, you can leave it as it is. Obviously we're going to season it with salt and pepper in a moment, but you can basically serve it as it is just now, as a kind of chunky soup. Now personally I prefer to pulse or liquidize the soup so it's a nice smooth puree, and that's what I'm going to do in a moment. What we're going to do just now is just season our soup with some salt and pepper. So just get some salt, good whack of salt in there, and a good dose of pepper as well. just give that a little kind of mix around. And what you want to do is give that a little taste just to see how it is. Just a touch more salt in. But what I'm going to do just now is just leave the soup to kind of cool down for about 20-30 minutes. Put the lid back on here. Hey guys, so what we're going to do now is just basically liquidise our soup. It's been cooling down for about half an hour, so it should be just the right temperature for us just to give that a quick liquidise. Okay. And it's a really easy thing to do. If you've got a liquidizer, if you don't have one, sorry, it's a great thing to invest in and great for making soups. And basically what we're going to do is we're just going to pour, just take this off, and we're just going to fill up the liquidizer. Which smells great. Can't wait to get stuck into this. You don't want to fill it too much to the top, otherwise it's going to go all over the place. Right, so basically we blended all of the soup that we've made up, and I've put it all back into this lentil stock pot that we had it from earlier on. And I'm just going to give the soup a quick taste of. That's gorgeous. I'm just checking again for any kind of seasoning, so I'm just going to top that up with a bit of salt. And a little bit of pepper. Give that a big stir. Perfect. That is a really, really great soup. Now all we've got to do is plate this bad boy up and try some. Hey guys, so what we've got here is a lovely bowl of homemade lentil soup ready to eat. And also what I've done is I've sliced up some tiger bread, which you can get from your local supermarket. It's a great tasting bread. It's got this lovely kind of crust on the top of it. You can also get tiger baguettes as well, which I really, really love with this soup. All that's really left to do is for me to eat this soup, and to say thanks to all of you for watching the video. I hope that you've enjoyed watching the video, and I hope that you'll enjoy making and eating the soup as much as I've enjoyed making and eating it. I absolutely love this soup. It's one of my favourite soups, and I hope that it's going to be one of your favourite soups too. I also hope that I'm going to see you on the next video. Hopefully I'm going to be making tomato soup in the next video, so join me then. Now all that's left for me to do is to tuck into this soup. Oh, it's so good. Yeah.